Union. Allow me this opportunity. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. But let me start in a very unpopular way. One would wonder if the Union gained stability through GS during the time he served, or where was the level of the discipline at the school he served in. I swear and I beg, the school was in line, because the gentleman was very strict. He knew his story, and he dedicated all his time to the union and the department. Now, ladies and gents, today we gather here to bid farewell to an exceptional leader, a dedicated servant, a true champion of our union. For 14 incredible years, Mr. Machipi has served as our General Secretary. And he's leaving behind an indelible mark to our organization. Your tireless efforts, unwavering commitment, and unshakable resolve have inspired us all. You have navigated us through turbulent time, secured and crucial victories. You have fostered the culture and solidarity and inclusivity. Your legacy has hatched in the hearts of our members, of the NEC, and the impact will be felt generations to come. We salute your selflessness, your vision, your unwavering dedication, and every muscle in your body knows that you love this union. As you begin in this new chapter, we wish you joy, peace, and fulfillment. You will deeply be missed, but your spirit will conquer and guide us all the time. Thank you, Ndade Machipi, our General Secretary, for your remarkable service. Farewell, and may the future be bright. Thank you so much.
Today is the greatest day that we should all embrace as PEU members. To you, Braben, you have run your race. You have done wonders for the union. You have groomed and developed us. I remember vividly when I met you, I was still the MLC at Eastern District, very energetic, and I attended the GC, and you were there very smart, and as you are, even today you are smart. When I became the shop steward, I was smart, and I also learned to be smart because you were always smart, guiding us. And there is something that I learned from you, the respect that you have. When we were given cars, my car was always clean. And you would always tell us that, guys, please, take care of the resources of the union. Even my car is still there in that office at Braamfontein, even today. Others were smashed left and right. But through your teachings, I decided to emulate and also to feel that what belongs to PEU also belongs to me, and I must take care of it. Braben, you have shown us how to write reports. We will differ with you, but also understand later that, hey, we have to do these things. And even in our offices, we have learned a lot about writing reports. I even guide the admin clerks that, hey, don't write a report like this. It should be like this. The font story. Remember when I joined the GDE, I was from the labor side, but I would like to say to you, it would be too big a risk to forget the good deeds that you have displayed and done for the union. By so saying, go and rest with your family, fare thee well, take care of yourself, and make sure that you remember Peu, because Peu is in your blood. Peu is in your blood, and I know very well that you'll never forget us. You have taught us a lot, and I don't want to doubt that whenever we see you, we see professionalism, dedication, commitment, and cleanliness. Thank you, Ombe.
It was in 2017 in Castle, it was during our elective conference. Before you addressed us there, you asked, when is conference chambers? And I stood up, then you came to me, then you shook my hand. And after that, you influenced the conference that I should become the secretary of the conference. And I became the secretary of the conference. And I remember before I attended my first GEC, I asked you, how do I dress there? You said to me, I should dress like an administrator. And I took it from you. And you also asked, what is my name? I said, Sten Biso. And you said, what do my friends call me? I said, they call me God. And in the union, you are the only person who called me by my name, my nickname, God. So I said to you, yes, I worked with you as a secretary, I learned a lot. I've grown as a unionist, I've grown as a person. I say to you, Phumule kahle isiZulu sithi ume njalo ngeqala. I thank you.
The NEC members. Now I knew Muthoga Ben Machip in 1995 when I was still at high school. We opened the school together, which is called Maths Booster Program. That's where I realized that this man is a straight talk. He recruited me in 1997 to join A. To keep me in the union, they co-opted me to be the finance chairperson of the branch, and I almost occupied all the positions at branch level except the secretary of the branch. I followed his footsteps. He taught me everything actually. I'm happy that I'm talking about a person who's living. I normally speak about the date. Yes, you molded me. And people were saying you were strict, and then I realized that you were just applying the policy. You were not strict. We promise to keep this union the way you like it to be. Go and rest. You Thank you very much.
After MP's NC.
Thank you, Press. I was not aware that we were going to have a press conference today. We've come dressed properly.
No, this is properly.
GS, I got to know and see you for the first time around 2014 in Amanskraal. In you, I learned a lot in terms of discipline and commitment to the call of the union. I've learned to face issues head on without any fear or favor. I can only wish you good health and good life. May God be with you in your new journey. And please take our calls when we need you. Last, we are very much sorry. It was unintentional. We will always be our GS. I can only request you not to forget the membership payment fee to remain in good standing as a member of PEU. Thank you.
Over to you.
And I'm lost for words. I don't even know what to say.
Voice,
This is
people must
actually
hear you.
a bittersweet moment for us all. This came totally unexpected. I was not expecting this at all. I started working in 2012, and I didn't have a union then. I didn't even care much about unions. So I think around 2017 or 2018, there came 2 or 3 cars, if I'm not mistaken, to our school. So my staff room is just opposite the parking lot, and this came these 3 white cars with markings painted. I wasn't even sure whether it's a union or are they selling insurance. But the first person who came out of the car was wearing a gray suit with a white shirt, very neat, very tall, light in complexion. And the other one was a bit taller, a bit darkish. And then there was a lady accompanying them. And I was just looking at these people. So they came through, I'm sitting in the staff room. So as they entered, I just saw Pegu. I wasn't sure whether this was a union or what, but I just saw Pegu. So as they entered our staff room, they stood there, and I stood up and they screamed, "Viva Pegu, viva!" And they looked at me and they smiled. And GS was one of those people with Mr. Kutulela and Kobe at that time. So before they started talking, I told them, just give me the form. And the teachers were looking at me, "No, you don't even know the union, it doesn't matter as long as it's not SATU. I'm in." So they gave me the form. That's how I joined PEU. That's how I became a PEU member. And I think somehow we exchanged numbers with GS, so he was the one I was talking to time to time. So ever since then, I don't know, I became like a daughter. I became very close to GS. And normally in the province, they would send me, Seko will tell me, I try to call GS to tell him this, but I'm struggling, he's not hearing me. So when I talk to him, they think that GS is listening to me, but they were very wrong, because I would always get some shouting and, "Hey, you guys are not doing things properly." And I remember telling him, "Oh, you can't be new forever in the union, you are old now. You must know how things are done." And I was like, "Oh, I'm no longer being given special treatment now. I'm older in the union." So GS wrote something here. I wish we knew that he was resigning. We could have come in because you know he's somebody who's very fashionable. We would have come with our evening gown and later today just stay here, have a gala dinner with NEC just to say proper goodbye to him, popping some champagne and giving him a very cheery farewell, because he deserves it. He deserves it. As the longest serving General Secretary, we find ourselves reflecting on the profound impact you've had on our union and each of us as individuals. For so many years, you have not only given your time and effort, you gave your life to this union, leading with the dignity, integrity, and a sense of purpose that has inspired us all. Your leadership went beyond professional decisions. You showed us the importance of emotional intelligence in handling both personal and professional challenges that arise in the workplace. In moments of tensions, your calm presence steadied us. In times of uncertainty, your empathy reassured us. You always knew how to navigate complex situations, understanding the needs and emotions of every individual, which is a testament of your extraordinary emotional intelligence. You've been more than a leader. You've been a mentor, a confidant, and a member of this union. We will carry forward the values you have instilled in us. The dedication to justice, fairness, and unity as you step into the next chapter of your life. Please know that your legacy of service, grace, and wisdom
will continue to guide us. We wish you all the happiness and success that you deserve. Thank you.
We also take this opportunity to wish the GS well. I always, the snack about me is that I always quote people that I don't know. Now, the next quote is from somebody I know. I quote, "A life lived with integrity, even if it lacks the trappings of a fame and fortune, is a shining star in whose light others may follow in the years to come." Out of quote. I was so fortunate to serve under the two strongest secretaries I've ever came to know in my life. The first one was the late Rosa Muluti, and then the next one was GS. You know, although they differed in personalities, may us all continue to rest in peace. What I learned about GS was that he was always there when needed. In my entire life as a unionist, I've never came to the point whereby I called GS and I could not find him on a Sunday, very early in the morning. And before I joined BAU, I used to write to assist the branch people to write letters because I was amongst the best performing English teacher in the area. And before I was recruited, these guys would always come to me, "We want to write to the department, come and assist us before they..." Now, I had a tendency, because as a born Africanist, I have a tendency of writing hard-hitting letters. But as and when I transcended and then joined BAU, I came to, sometimes they would see my letters, and in one meeting here said, "You know, this letter we knew that it was from Northwest because of the type of the language that was there." It taught me a lesson to say, you must never pen your emotions on paper. Allow yourself to simmer. And GS, thank you for having, transformed me into somebody who always go out and tone down. Even my second manager knows when I'm angry, I'm not writing anything down pressed. I'll sit down and simmer first, and then I pen down. Because when you write, you pour your emotions. So that's one thing that I learned from GS. I once drove GS car to Limpopo, and when you get into that car, compared to the other cars that I drove, you could feel there was organization in that car. It was just spot on. And I said to myself, if this guy is able to give me this car, I'm going to retain it in the form that it is in. And it also taught me to say, as a leader, you need to lead and then lead by example. One of my colleagues indicated the way GS treated union items and whatever that belongs to the union. And it also taught me a lesson to say, this is the way things are supposed to be done. And it's something that I'm always trying to inculcate to my members to say, we leave a legacy. In closing, you see, the life of a unionist is very short. We have GS, we had GS in the past, and then our journey with GS will end now. But you see, when you are a priest, they can even make you an archbishop. But we are saying to GS, as and when you go out, please remember that you have drawn a line. You have left out a legacy. Do not do like others of our leaders who were here before you, who left us in the lurk. Still keep BAU in your heart. And I think TGS, at least we have got somebody who will be able to assist us in directing the retirees press to say, this is the way, because he knows BAU by heart. Bon voyage, TGS. Go and enjoy your stay. Thank your family on behalf of BAU to say they have given you to us, unreservedly so. You left your family for so many years to come and stay with BAU, and we really appreciate it. We may not be saying it in so many ways, but on behalf of the BAU members, we say we really appreciate it. Thank you, Press.
Thank you, Press, for the opportunity that you have given me. Let me add my voice and join NEC in the gratitudes that we forwarded this afternoon. No amount of words could describe the legacy that the General Secretary, the person of Mr. Matshipi, is leaving behind. But I'm grateful, President, that the General Secretary is not retiring as in ending the relationship with PEU, but he's transiting from the active responsibility of being the General Secretary into the retirees' space. So we are not totally losing him. He is still with us. But let me hasten to say, I thank the General Secretary for holding me by hand and mentoring me into the Secretariat space. It was not easy. It was difficult because he will just take a phone and call me, DGS, a particular media house requires a media statement. Pen down immediately and hand it over to me. And he will give me the points and I'll pen down the statements. Not that he couldn't, but he was affording me an opportunity to grow. He was teaching me. He was showing me how things are done. And after I shall have submitted that piece of work, he'll come back and give me feedback. This is how the media statement of PEU was received by the media houses. Not that only, he will send me to represent the General Secretary's office in different fora and in different events. And in those events, the first event, when it was introductions, we would shake hands for the first time with the minister. I am Mrs. Angie Motsega. I am Jabuma Tonsela from PEU. She will raise her eyebrows. And quickly I would say, I'm standing in for Mr. Ben Matshipi. Or she will say, oh, Ben. Then I would say, yes, Ben. Then I learned from there. The second event, where I was deployed to represent the Office of the General Secretary, when we start shaking hands, I am Basil. Then I will say, I am Ben Matshipi. And when Basil gets shocked, I will say, I'm standing in for Mr. Ben Matshipi. So in different forums, I was known not as Jabuma Tonsela, but as Ben Matshipi. The last occasion in Botswana, when we arrived there, they wanted Ben Matshipi with this name, the new name that they've given him. And I appeared. I said, I'm Ben Matshipi. When everybody else was misbehaving in an adult way, I could not join them because I was filling the shoes of Mr. Ben Matshipi, who is known as this disciplined person, who is known to be this strict person. So I had to embrace that posture and be Mr. Ben Matshipi. So GS, I want to say, like it or not, you will forever be the GS of the union. Like it or not, I'll forever be known in the circle of DBE as Ben Matshipi. Because you've mentored me, you've shown me how things are done, and with minute taking, he will sit me down and tell me, this is the work that you have done, it is appreciated, but in future, tweak it here and there so that it aligns with the requirements and protocols of how minutes should be presented. And I want to thank you very much, GS. With all these experience that he gave me and the opportunities that he gave me, I learned one day that the General Secretary is very talented in identifying talent. And when he identifies that talent, he makes sure that he grooms that talent to be what they would be proud of one day. And the other thing that I've learned from him is that as a leader, it is very important to build a second layer of leadership. An organization must not start and end with you, but you must build other layers of leadership so that when time comes for you to transit to retirees space, you leave talent that you have groomed, talent that would mirror you in your absence. So I want to thank and appreciate the General Secretary. I did not want to write anything down, but I wanted to speak from the heart. That I thank you very much, GS. When I came to NEC, I was this, I had this, for lack of a better expression, COSAS-based mentality. That anything that comes my way, I flatten it. But with the experience and maturity that the General Secretary gave me, I'm now able to look at the person and say, how can I best go around with this person and still achieve the vision of the union without straining the relations? So I have learned a lot from you, General Secretary, and I want to say the legacy that you have left will forever be on the desktop of the Office of the General Secretary, so that any decision that needs a reference would refer to the legacy that you have left behind. I want to thank you most sincerely and say you have not departed. This is not an obituary. You are still with us. I'm going to meet you at the retirees' occasions. Thank you so much.